नन्दो त्र्यम्बके गजाननजम्बूं श्वरपा करुणावतारो गमय
मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हे बद्री नारायण वासुदेवा।
हे राम नारायण वासुदेव हे श्याम नारायण वासुदेव।
हे राम नारायण वासुदेवा। हे श्याम नारायण वासुदेवा।
हे लक्ष्मी नारायण वासुदेव हे बद्री नारायण वासुदेव।
हे लक्ष्मी नारायण वासुदेवा। हे बद्री नारायण वासुदेवा।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
हे राम नारायण वासुदेव हे श्याम नारायण वासुदेव
हे राम नारायण वासुदेवा हे श्याम नारायण वासुदेवा
हे लक्ष्मी नारायण वासुदेव हे बद्री नारायण वासुदेव
हे लक्ष्मी नारायण वासुदेवा हे बद्री नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण
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 श्रीमद्नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण
भजमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण
भजमन नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमद्नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमद्नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण 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 नारायण नारायण
साई नारायण नारायण नारायण
साई नारायण नारायण नारायण
साई नारायण नारायण नारायण
साई नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण
श्रीमद्नारायण नारायण नारायण
Shrimanarayana Narayana Narayana
Srimad Narayana Narayana Narayana
Sarve bhavantu sukhinah Sarve santu niramaya Sarve bhadrani pashantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Welcome. Welcome to Satsang. I hope that wherever you're sitting in the world, your room, your living room, your home, hopefully your home, hope that wherever you are, there's health, and there's peace, and there's joy. And that's what from here at Parmarth, that we are so privileged to be able to share with you in this time of such stress, of such difficulty, of so much unknown. But to be able to come together in that which is known, which is our oneness, which is love, which is truth. And in the midst of the unknowns, in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of brand new normals every day, in the midst of external situations unseen by anyone, ever, we're staying anchored and grounded in that which has always been true and will always be true. That chorused, deepest truth of our oneness. It's just more, it's sweeter right now, interestingly, because as we feel so physically separate, as we feel so fragile, as so many people are struggling with anxiety and stress, either about their physical health and safety or about their economic safety, that sweetness of our oneness, that sweetness of the ability to reach out and be together from our home, literally, into your home as one. So we'll start our satsang tonight with a question from Ashutosh Sontake, which has come in from our YouTube family. And he's asked, how do you control emotions of grief and anger? First of all, it's really important to realize that on a spiritual path, in a spiritual opening, it's not about putting aspects of who you are into a vice. It's not about squeezing the life out of different parts of who you are that you may not like, that may not seem to be in alignment with where you're going. It's not about pushing things. It's not about denying or repression or suppression. The control over our emotions comes when we are anchored into something that is deeper and stiller. So it's not that I'm pushing away grief or pushing away anger or repressing grief or repressing anger or suppressing them in any way. It's that I anchor into something that is deeper than the anger, that is more stable than the anger, that is truer than the anger. And when I'm anchored in that, even though, sure, people may say or do things that if I had a magic wand, I would wave away and make them say or do something differently. Even though things may happen in the universe that if I had a magic wand, I might make happen differently. I don't lose myself in anger. Anger is when I lose myself in that situation. Anger is the overtaking of my consciousness by my unconsciousness or my subconsciousness, by my patterns. I lose myself in anger. That's why so many of us, when we're angry, we say or do things that later on we think, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Or when we're apologizing to someone, we say, that wasn't me. I don't know who that was. I don't know what happened. But obviously it was us. I mean, some other being from another planet didn't, crawl into our brains through our ears or our nostrils and suddenly take over our tongue, take over control of our arms or our legs and make us do things. So who was it? If we say, oh, that wasn't me. Well, who was it? It was me. It just wasn't what you could call the capital M me, the higher me, the fuller me, the truer me. It was the pre-programmed me. It was the me stuck in a rut me. Me and my subconscious autopilot me. Me in all of the ways that I've been programmed and patterned to behave my whole life. So when I'm free of those patterns, then anger no longer has the ability to make me its slave. I'm able to recognize it. I'm able to say, oh yeah, I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. Somebody says something or does something or something happens. And instead of suddenly finding yourself with your fist punched through a wall, or your hand having slapped someone, or your hand having ingested a 6-pack of beer, or your hand having done any one of 100 other things we later regret. Instead of that, what ends up happening is you're able to see that rise of anger. You're able to start seeing that pattern coming and realize, oh, I don't want that. I don't need to be angry. And so you don't lose yourself in it. And slowly, what actually ends up happening is you find yourself so grounded and so anchored that, yeah, you can see what people are saying or doing, you see what's happening, but it no longer has the ability to provoke you like that. You never even can imagine who that being would be. Who would punch their hand through a wall or hit someone or go drown themselves in alcohol or drugs based on the words or actions of another. So we literally disconnect completely from being so hooked in to what's happening around us. So that's the way that we deal with anger or any of the emotions that just sweep us up, is don't try to push them away. Don't try to repress them or suppress them or squeeze them. It'll just pop out somewhere else. But rather, ask yourself, who is it? Who is it in me that's acting in anger? When I know it's not me, half an hour from now, I'm going to say that wasn't me. So why give that other being control of my brain and my tongue and my hands and my legs unnecessarily? I know I'm going to regret it. It's like, would you give your car keys to your 5-year-old? Right? Your 5-year-old gets a truck, runs it around the house, loves it, and then says, I know, Mom, give me the keys to the car. You understand if he takes the keys, he's going to wreck the car or kill himself. You'd never give it to him and then say, oh, I don't know what happened. In the same way, why give ourselves over to unconsciousness? Why give ourselves over to these patterns that just keep coming up over and over again? We know it's not us. An hour later, we say, that wasn't me. But rather than getting judgmental and saying, oh, can't believe I did that again, stop it in the act. Don't allow yourself to act in such unconsciousness. Stay grounded, stay anchored. In love. Realize, okay, that person, whoever's doing that, they're in the throes of their own ignorance, their own fear, their own confusion, their own anger. That's why they're sharing that with me. I can only infect you with something that I have, right? These days with our social distancing. It's to protect ourselves if the person we are staying distant from has coronavirus. Or protect them from us if we have it. But if neither of us has it, neither of us can give it to the other. I can only give you what I have. And in the same way, if someone is giving us pain and misery, you can be pretty sure that that's what they have. And so when they give it to us, say, all right, and we move on. We don't allow it to trigger ourselves. And this is where I always talk about that spiritual immune system, right? I mean, these days it's all about our physical immune system. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting sunshine? Are you getting vitamin C? Drinking enough water? Taking care of yourself? Got to get that immune system as strong, robust, mazboot, as we say in Hindi. In the same way, though, we have our spiritual immune systems. People are always going to say and do things that are not what we want. The universe is always going to act in ways that is not what we want. But if you move through the physical world with a weakened immune system, you're going to catch not only the coronavirus, but you're going to catch everything. Every time the weather changes and somebody's got a cold, you'll get it. Every time somebody sneezes, you'll catch it. And in the same way, if your spiritual immune system is weak, every time that something happens in the universe, that isn't what you want, you're going to lose yourself. You're going to get angry. You're going to be miserable. You're going to feel jealous, competitive, frustrated, angry, despairing. And so it's important to make sure that our spiritual immune system is really strong. Because people are going to keep acting in their ways. The universe is going to keep acting in its way. And this is why we strengthen our spiritual immune systems with our meditation, with our seva, with our prayers, with our chanting, with our introspection. So that we're not limited to just, to protect ourselves physically. We're limited to our homes. Stay inside. Fine, for right now, for coronavirus, we need to. We're doing it. We hope you're doing it. But spiritually, we don't want to be living in a situation in our lives where there's only certain people we can talk to, certain places we can go, because otherwise I get angry. Otherwise I lose my peace. You don't want to be so fragile spiritually that everything that happens, you lose yourself. Best way to deal with grief is to just be sad. Grief is a very, very normal and natural reaction to loss. We grieve when a loved one dies, or divorces us, or moves away. And in our lives, there's a lot of things that we lose. And grief is very natural. So if you're feeling grief, don't try to push it away. A lot of times people say, oh, don't be sad, don't be sad, don't be sad. And of course that doesn't work. It just makes whoever is sad feel silly for being sad. So now you feel embarrassed in addition to being sad. If grief is there in your life, it tends not to usually be a very long-lasting experience, even when we've experienced a horrible tragedy. We grieve for a while, and then we move on. And it's a new normal. Nothing goes back to the way it was. But we recalibrate, we readjust in that new normal, in that loss. And that's a really important part of growth. So grief is slightly different from some of the other emotions that we would rather be free of. If grief is there, allow yourself to just be sad. That's okay. It's very normal. It's very natural. It'll take its time. And then like a wave, out of the grief will come joy. Or out of the grief will come laughter. Or out of the grief, emotions are waves. In one moment it's grief, and then the next moment it's joy. Because you remember something the person you're grieving said, and suddenly you're full of joy. And then suddenly you're full of love, because then you remember how much you love them, and you're full of love for them. And then you're full of grief. And then again you're full of joy. So whatever's up, when it's real, when it's really in that moment, pure feeling, let it be there. Just be present with it. Don't give in to the story or the drama. Don't rehearse your script and your part. Just be present. Allow it. And then like a wave, it'll peak and it'll subside.
This is from Pooja Talba on Facebook. Sadhviji, could you elaborate on mantra japa sadhana?
Mantra japa literally means the chanting of a mantra. It's a very, very, very powerful, beautiful sadhana to do for many reasons. Number one, most of our minds are all over the place. The mind is constantly going. This is why our scriptures always talk about the monkey mind. Not just in the time of coronavirus, not just in the time of smartphones, but the nature of the mind is to be a monkey. And so the first benefit of mantra japa is it literally takes that mind from 100 places and it brings it to one. So where my mind was all over the place, now my mind is chanting my mantra. And by the way, the mantra is not just a semantic experience. It's not just, I am remembering and reciting words. As you chant the mantra, you are actually supposed to be able to see the mantra, hear the mantra, taste the mantra, feel the mantra. It literally is fill yourself with the mantra. So that's the first easy, wonderful benefit, is suddenly my mind is on one thing. Number two, the mantra itself is very, very powerful. The Sanskrit mantras from the scriptures are scientific, alchemical methods of transformation. And so even sitting and listening to mantras be chanted, whether you understand them or not, if we're sitting in puja, for example, and priests are chanting mantras, the sound of the mantras is very, very, very powerful. So if you're chanting it, the mantra itself, the sound of that mantra, the alchemical magic of that mantra is very powerful. So that's the deeper benefit of it. But then we go even another deeper stage, which is that if that mantra has been given to you by a guru, in the mantra is the power, the shakti, the sadhana of the guru. So it has actually been not only personally selected for you by the guru, but as it's given to you, it's given to you with that shakti of the guru. And so that's another very, very, very deep component. I know for me, my mantra feels sometimes like a life raft for me. If my mind is going, if there's that ocean of things, a stormy ocean of things in the mind, just things that need doing or things that need to be being thought about, and the mind going all over the place, whatever it may be. The minute I grab hold of the mantra, it pulls me right out of that stormy ocean. It's a very, very, very powerful technique. And so we develop a practice of it, usually with our meditation, usually when we sit to meditate. Prior to meditation is usually a very good time to do the japa. It leads very nicely into meditation. And then slowly, slowly what starts happening in life is your mantra is always on. Always on. You may be working, you may be cooking, you may be driving, you may even be talking to someone. But that mantra is always on. And so suddenly the monkeyness of the mind stops. Because the background of the mind, rather than being a monkey all over the place, becomes a beautiful mantra. And the more mantra jap you do, the more the mantra starts to chant itself. So keep doing. Do it while you're seated with your mala in your meditation. But then do it during your life. Whatever you're doing, you can be chanting your mantra. Let that beautiful miracle transform you. We'll be back together with you again. Same time tomorrow. And may the next 24 hours be filled with joy as much as possible. Not joy that requires us to push away the present situation, but joy that can coexist in a spaciousness that grows and grows within you. Still alive? So I don't know where you are in the world, but for us here in India, it is a little before 8 o'clock, and at 8:30 tonight, they've just informed me, from 8:30 to 9:30 is Earth Hour. And over these days, we've done a lot of talking about the lessons that Mother Earth is trying to teach us. The need that Mother Earth had for us all to just stop and be still. The need that Mother Earth had for her to heal. For the fossil fuels to just stop for a little while. For the cars and the planes and the factories to just stop. For the noise and the movement and the consumption and the production to just stop. And here in the midst of this Corona challenge, we have our annual Earth Hour, wherever you are, it's 8:30 to 9:30 tonight. I'm just not sure how soon that will be for most of you. For us here in India, it's very soon. But wherever you are in the world tonight, from 8:30 to 9:30, to the extent safely possible for you, in your home, in your life, if you can just turn off that which isn't necessary. It's a beautiful time to meditate. Turn off the lights. Those of you saying, oh, I didn't get in my meditation yet today. Well, the universe has a plan for you. Those of you who already meditated today, the universe has another plan for you. Get to meditate again. So to the extent safely possible for you, from 8:30 to 9:30 tonight, we turn off the lights to give Mother Earth an hour of healing, and to remind us of our conscious and conscientious use of Mother Earth. Every light we switch on, every time we turn anything on that has an on-off switch, that electricity is coming to us. In far too many cases here, with Puja Swamiji's vision and guidance and commitment, we're mostly solar energized, but tragically in most of the rest of the world, that which is powering our world is coming from within the womb of Mother Earth. And the transformation of the fossil fuels into our energy is killing our environment. And so let's take an hour tonight and really see how little electricity we can live with. An hour to offer our love and gratitude to Mother Earth, who, despite us grabbing everything out of her womb and burning it and destroying her, nonetheless keeps providing for us, keeps serving, keeps giving. And if you can go for 2 hours, why not? If it seems like a perfect night to go to sleep early, even better. And then we take that lesson into every hour of every day. How many lights do you really need on all the time? How much really needs to run simultaneously? Do we have other ways? Let's use this hour to reflect, to give thanks, and to reevaluate how we use and abuse the precious, precious gifts and existence of Mother Earth.